Hi everyone, welcome to my weekly discussion. I hope everyone's having a great week so far, and I'll just jump right into it. So, for concept reflection, first question is briefly discuss what you know about your own self in light of these characteristics. So something within this chapter that really stuck out to me was the concept of complexity, and looking at my own self, what really stood out to me about self complexity was the how like people with more complex self concepts have been found to have like lower stress levels, less likely to get sick. It's a buffer. It's a buffer against like negative events, and it helps us enjoy more like positive events. Negative outcomes have a lower effect on people's esteem, or people with higher complexities esteem, and has a greater tolerance for frustration and stuff like that. So for me personally, looking at this in my own life, in high school, like I had a very high complexity, and something a little about me that I'm willing to share is that like I've struggled with depression, and in high school, when I had this high complexity, it was so easy to just like kind of ignore it because I had so many things going on. If I failed in one place, I still had so many other aspects to funnel all my energy into. And then once I took my first shot at college and I had a lot of those identities stripped away from me, such as like I was no longer a football player. I was away from my family, so I was no longer a son or a brother. I mean, I still was, but I felt very distant. I didn't have those friends anymore. I lost a lot of my identity, and my sense of self. So when I had a lower complexity or self complexity, I just saw a huge decline in the way that I was able to battle some of these negative things in my life. So and for question 2, what does self-esteem mean to you? To me, self-esteem is my level of belief in my own abilities, my character, and my overall worth. I feel like my self-esteem fluctuates a lot, because I deeply resonate as a high self-monitoring person. I'm definitely a people pleaser, but what did you learn about self-esteem from this week's reading? I found that what am I trying to say? I found the research about whether a high self-esteem leads to success, or if success causes one's self-esteem to rise. I found that study very interesting. As Baumeister, here I'm going to quote him real quick. Baumeister and his colleagues suggested that attempts to boost self-esteem should only be carried out as a reward for good behavior and worthy achievements, and not simply to try and make children feel better about themselves. They say this because by manufacturing high self-esteem, it could backfire and create narcissism. And I think this ties to my original idea of self-esteem, because I said my level of belief in my own abilities, character, and worth, meaning that my self-esteem is organic, because I've done the work and I'm able to prove it. So that's kind of what this study is talking about, is that raising your self-esteem artificially is actually more damaging than actually believing in your own worth and your own abilities and character. So thank you guys for listening.